I was more interested in the bottle rockets that we just smuggled across the border and wanting to light those off than do photography. Skateboarding, BMX biking, that kind of stuff, those were my hobbies. It was never anything remotely to do with the arts. So it's kind of funny, here I am, you know, this whole film about chasing my dream shot, my bucket list shot. It's funny how life works out like that.
It's funny how life works out like that, he says. Peter McKinnon, he's a YouTuber. He's also an artist. This is his shot, the bucket shot. And he talks about the process of how he got there and what it took to become an artist and what it took to actually become knowledgeable and become a master of his art. And I'm watching him. I'm watching all his videos because I want to master my art. But I'm not there yet. So Academic Diamond, we are producing YouTube videos. I've produced videos in the past. But they're not masterful. They are not like Pete McKinnon. So I have a lot of work to do because I've promised a weekly video, and this is one of them. I've sort of blatantly stolen Pete McKinnon's footage because he's a master. It is absolutely wonderful. This video I highly recommend. I'll put the link in the description below, called The Bucket Shot, and he talks about how his passion and his drive has actually led to him becoming what he becomes. And that is a really important lesson for you. If you are a student and if you want to do better at what you do, you have to strive for that perfection. It's what gives you motivation. And motivation is one of the things that we talked about in our podcast this week. So you might want to hop over to academicdiamond.org and see if you can find a podcast there. Let's go back to Peter for a while.
And I got down on my stomach and started taking macro shots, because there was a setting I read about, of grass. Right here. The first time I ever snapped a photo was here. And then looking at the photo on the screen and thinking, oh, wow. Being able to see the blades of grass so close, the water on them, which led to the next shot, taking a picture.
And that is his first shot. That's where it started for him. Again, that is so inspirational that he shows you that, because we all start somewhere. We all have to take that journey and we have to accept that journey. So I'm going to talk today about my journey and what I had to do to actually get where I am, because frankly, I think it's quite interesting to understand the progress that we make as Academic Diamond, that I make as a person, as Tim Salstra, and how it compares to people like Peter McKinnon, Casey Neistat. There's so many really good video makers out there that I aspire to become reasonably good as them. You know, it's not going to happen overnight. It's something that I will have to practice over time, and it's going to take time. And that is fine, because if it takes time, that means that I've got something that keeps me going, that drives me, and that motivation will keep me online, tracked down to where I need to be. And that is the thing that we really want to achieve. When you are studying at university, you, as an undergrad, will have 3 years to become proficient at your role, at your job, at whatever it is that you chose to be. That 3 years is so important because it lays the foundation for where you're going. My background is very different. I studied to become a librarian in the Netherlands. Then I studied a bit of language, Frisian language and culture, which was really interesting and shaped me as a student. It taught me how to study. Then I studied information management, and then I did a PhD in information management. What I did not do was a degree in how to edit videos, or how to set sound balances, or how to become, a great photographer and getting an eye for those shots. So I've set myself some challenges, and I'm going to share those with you because I think you may find them interesting. I want to take a good shot, a good photography shot every week of the year. So it doesn't matter, where, what, even how, doesn't really matter. It could be on my mobile, it could be on my Sony camera. It could be anything. It doesn't really matter. It just needs to be a good shot. It's a struggle, but I need to see progress. Every time I take that shot, I want to see whether I've got better or not. And that is a really important step for me to become better at photography. When it comes to editing, at the moment, I am playing around with a Stream Deck. I'm playing around with OBS and I'm recording this in one shot. You might be able to tell that. I want to get better at actually cutting and transitioning video. And I'm just looking around here for a bit where Peter McKinnon does that. Yes, found it here. So we are going to switch back to that and we're going to have a quick look at what that looks like.
So this is Matt's. This is his home. You actually have everything you need in here.
Yeah.
What do you mean, fridge is in there? Clothes, more storage.
Yeah.
Yo, this is sick. Hopped in his van and started heading up the mountain. It is raining pretty hard right now, so
It's rain here, but it should be snow up top.
Lake Louise sits at the bottom. Moraine Lake is considerably higher. So the weather up there can be completely different from the weather down below.
What you see with that, and I'm sorry for interrupting, you do want to see the whole video, it is genuinely really interesting. But what you see is that he uses different cameras, different angles. He's got the light right, he's got the audio right, he's cutting the scenes very quickly, but they are engaging, they actually make sense. I need to learn how to do that. I don't know how to do that yet. I've tried, trust me, I've tried. I've found B-roll, I've started filming things that I think will be interesting. And in fact, some of my very old first videos that are on the channel of Dr. Klumber, which is my sort of leisure gaming channel that I have, I was actually doing okay with that. But the recent few months when I've been trying to play around with that, it's turned out to be really difficult. I think it's because I'm actually overcomplicating things. I'm using very expensive cameras with lots of functionalities. I'm actually using Final Cut Pro rather than GarageBand. My first, not GarageBand, iMovie. My first videos were made in iMovie, which was easy. You put a clip in, you cut it, you put the soundtrack under, you cut that, you make it all flow together, and you've got a video. In Final Cut Pro, I have to make sure that I've got everything lined up properly, that all the lighting is edited, that everything is balanced, the audio is balanced. I am genuinely just making it more difficult for myself. But at the same time, that challenge, that difficulty, is what's going to make it better. Pete McKinnon isn't editing this video on iMovie. There's just no chance that he's doing that.
Charged on my batteries, cleared my cards, so I'm gonna head up to the mountain now, and fingers crossed, this is the moment. Let's just get in the truck and head towards Moraine Lake. It's pitch black, so it's hard to even tell what conditions are like, but we know that parking lot gets full by 7 a.m. and they close that road, so I wanna be up there by 5. I wanna get my spot, figure out what the conditions look like so I can be ready to snap that. We headed up the mountain, pitch black. You know, the problem with Moraine Lake is it's the most photographed spot in Canada. And that's because it's so accessible. You can just drive right up to it. I think sometimes the payoff of getting a beautiful shot, a beautiful landscape shot, is when there's a lot of trial and tribulation put into it. You know, you gotta hike like 20 miles, you have to stay overnight, canoe across a lake, and then wait for like a day until the light looks great so that you got that perfect frame. You went through something to get that. And nobody else, for the most part, has that same shot. It's the complete opposite here. We got to the top, and within 10 minutes.
How interesting is that? He's actually talking about the fact that everybody takes photographs, but none of them look like that. What he's saying is there's lots of people that come here because it's so accessible. People like taking pictures here because it's beautiful. And, if you look behind me, it is beautiful. But what the difference is that he's so attuned to his craft of taking photographs that he will wait until the conditions are perfect, until the sun is in the right spot, the clouds are reflected in the water, the snow is on the mountains. This is genuine mastery. This is the level of mastery that I am nowhere near to achieving. And you know what? I might not achieve ever in my life, and that is fine as well. Because by observing what he does and what he has to go through to make things happen for him, I am actually learning. Not just from him talking about it, but also identifying shots and identifying how he's done certain things, the fact that he sometimes uses a tripod to get a very steady shot, and quite often he's just using the camera offhand and he's moving it around and there's shudder and shake, but it doesn't matter because of the way he edited it. So the bucket shot, in my opinion, is a great video to explain exactly what is going to happen if you become a master. And, you know, let's just go to the last bit of that video, see what that actually looks like.
Mine, it's forever in that bank, and it means something to me. Photography means something to me. What does it mean to you? It looks so good.
Passion. You can't beat it. I've used a lot of Pete McKinnon's video in this, obviously, so it's linked down below. I really hope you go and watch it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Get passionate. Become passionate about mastering your area. You will get there over time. Not quite to the level of Pete McKinnon. Maybe you will. Just try it. Bye-bye.